I'm Chris, this is Mateo, Ari, and Amanda, and we are the Computational Clowns. So first on the agenda is we're going to see what the skills gap is. We're going to define it. We're going to talk about how we measured it, the current CTE curriculum, and the projected skills in demand right now for North Carolina. So what is the skills gap? The skills gap, in short, can be defined as what businesses are looking for versus what education is focusing on. We determined that it is a statistically significant difference between what businesses are looking for and what the current CTE curriculum is focusing on. Specifically, that specialized industry skills are the most important aspect of the skills gap right now.
For the NCCTE funding, you will see that from 2020 down to 21 to 22, there's typically a normal concentration within these high areas such as Charlotte, Raleigh, and the Greensboro Chapel Hill area. As we look into the concentrators data for 2018 to 2022, we see how there's a big switch. In 2020 to 2019, you'll see a huge gap in these white areas due to COVID. But overall, if you look at the legend, these increase over time. The key takeaway, funding has increased over time, so has the count of concentrations. This could also due to population in new school students. However, we recommend taking additional funds from these high districts within these zip codes and distribute them within the county.
So within our process, we wanted to look at the top areas of growth by 2030, and we identified that the following categories, as you can see here in the slide, are the top 5 industry titles. So we have arts and entertainment, recreation, and food services, which has an average of 21.1% growth rate as we combined 2 different industries into one. That way we can examine the hospitality and tourism career cluster as a whole. And then we also wanted to look at professional, scientific, and technical services that had an 18.4% growth rate, which focused on the STEM career cluster. Transportation and warehousing had 16.9% growth rate and looked at the transportation cluster. Healthcare services had a 12.7% growth rate with health sciences as a cluster, and then human and social assistance looked at 12.77% of human services. So then what we can look at is looking at how many skills are currently being addressed within the North Carolina CTE curriculum, as well as looking at using LinkedIn as our one data source, which is a limitation in itself. We looked at pulling together those specialized courses, and we found that with these visualizations, you can see the overall distribution of what skills are currently being covered, with the end gauge being the number of skills identified by the LinkedIn source. And these are the other ones for the healthcare and human and services sectors.
Okay, now we get into the equation to be able to deduce which skills are necessary. So here's rank frequency adjustment from the LinkedIn sources, current openings over current seeking, future job growth, and multiplied by weight. So over here, for the rank frequency analysis, well, we find that the frequency of any word is inversely proportionate to the rank frequency table from the LinkedIn search. So we wanted to put more emphasis on number 1 over number 10. Then currently job seekers, job openers. So over here you see the numbers that are above 1 indicate higher demand currently. And then we have this for future demand growth. So the final result is that these are the top 5, and here are the top 4 clusters that you want to go into.
So finally, key takeaway that we want to focus on is from both my analysis and Mateo's analysis, we found that healthcare and transportation had the most industry growth opportunities and are where we need to probably focus more of our efforts into putting more funding. Thank you so much for your time.